Right, so like Naledi was saying, research by the World Health Organization suggests that women could live up to 8 years longer than their male counterparts. And a report by Giraffe says that women in South Africa earn significantly less than their male counterparts. Women without a matric are said to be the most vulnerable to pay discrimination, with an average pay gap of 33%. Let's get more on this and how to counter this. I'm joined by Karabo Ramookho, who's the Strategic Marketing Manager at Old Mutual. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News.
Thank you for having me.
What is the best advice that you'd give to a woman who's watching and wants to be in control of her finances despite the many challenges that she faces?
The biggest thing I'm going to say is you have to educate and inform yourself. So a lot of times we are, like I was sitting in a makeup room now and they did my eyes and there was step by step that was followed to get this look. And we spend so much time on step by step for everything else except our finances. So having a step-by-step plan that starts with what is my budget, what do I need, what are my goals, what am I hoping for? If I'm married, how am I married? How will that impact on me should death or divorce come along? So informing yourself and educating yourself is at the core of basically having a handle on your finances.
We're often told that South Africa doesn't have a good traditional savings culture and that we need to learn that more. How do you save, especially when you're constrained economically?
So I think a lot of things, the trap that people fall into is you think you need to save from extra. You don't save from extra, you start by having a savings mindset from the start. So the first thing is I earn 100 rands, for lack of a better example. So I have to retire one day. I have to make sure if something goes wrong, I've got money without getting into debt. So first things first is pay yourself first. So start off by putting money away before you start spending. So a lot of times, and I use this example, you start working, what do? You go open an account for clothes, for this and that. Very few of us actually learn to start saving immediately when you start. So it's something that as parents, I think you need to start with your children. So I'm giving you 10 rands, put away one rand from that. Why, mommy? Because tomorrow you're going to put in another 1 rand, another 1 rand, and you're growing that over time. So that's the thing that people miss. So start off by paying yourself first, save first before you spend.
There's also an example that's used that women often, even if they're not single parents, would rather spend on their partners or children before they spend on themselves, never mind saving. Yeah,
I grew up seeing that, actually, and it creates a lot of resentment. So I think one of the things I want to bring into the conversation is if your financial plan is something that doesn't exist outside of your whole being. As a whole being, there's certain things, there's your mental, there's your social, there's your physical, your financial sense of being is at the center of that. If your finances are not okay, you're not going to be okay mentally. And I'm going to be very crude and say, when money is not right, even the bedroom stuff sometimes is not right, right? It's one of those things that's at the center, because when you're feeling secure in terms of your money, then you are able to make decisions better. So a lot of times, we're spending money on gym, on makeup, because people cannot see what's going in underneath there. But you start first with your finances. It impacts on everything else. Put your finances almost at the center, right next to your spiritual stuff. If you are not handling your finances, everything else kind of falls apart.
Okay, you've spoken about the need to educate and inform yourself. Let's say you've got a basic idea. It's also very intimidating.
Yes, it can be.
We've been speaking about investing a lot and savings during Savings Month. So once you have a plan, where do you go to make sure that you can invest properly and save properly with good results?
Again, I'm going to go back to my makeup example, if you would let me. So I came in and I had a makeup specialist doing my makeup. I didn't question her. She didn't question me. She looked at my face. She understood what she's doing. She is an expert at that. So we often feel the pressure to hold everything ourselves. So the first thing you do, go and sit with a financial advisor. Sit with someone who's an expert at money, whose job is to actually equip you and enable you towards a positive future. So don't try to do it yourself. The same way as a mom, when your child is at school and you can see they're great at soccer, you get them a soccer coach. Get yourself a financial coach. That person is going to sit with you and ask you questions. Firstly, what are you about? So what keeps you awake at night? What excites you? What are your goals? Where do you want to go in 3 years' time? Do you still want to be at the SABC, or do you want to be independent? Then we sit down and say, okay, cool. In terms of what you want, this is what you should have at this point in time.
What do you do if you feel that even getting a financial coach or financial planner is going to be expensive and you've got a small amount of money, but you still want to be financially secure?
Start with a budget. So what's important is It's very difficult. Actually, a lot of us use it as a suggestion. It's like quickly, okay, maybe, maybe not. So what I would actually advise a lot of women, download an app called 22/7. You download it, you link it to your bank account, and it actually helps you to put your budget automatically. It will show you where you are spending, where you are overspending. Once you've put your goals in place where you're saying, okay, cool, I want to get rid of debt, then it will say you are keeping up. Here's a nudge, you deserve that cappuccino type of thing. So you almost have a coach in your pocket, if you want to call it that way. So, and that's a free app dealing with your finances directly, no cost whatsoever involved.
Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. Karabo Ramookho joining us from Old Mutual there. Coming up after the break, it's Books on Point with Nastasia Arendse. It's good afternoon from me.